Hey guys, and welcome to the Well-Rounded Beauty. Today we're going to feature our very first cooking lesson, which is going to feature a seafood boil. If you know anything about me, everyone knows seafood is my favorite food. I could probably eat it every single day. So in this tutorial, we're going to jump into a very simple, easy to make savory seafood crab shrimp mussel boil. Getting right into it, I have about 2 pounds of snow crab and Dungeness crab that have been cleaned and scrubbed to get off any of like the little gunk and the grime that sticks to the shell. I have a pound of black mussels that have been soaked in cornstarch to release any of the dirt and grime that is usually trapped inside of the shells. Next, we have a pound of extra large organic shrimp. I usually get this bag from Publix. It tastes different. If anybody says different, they haven't had organic shrimp. They have already been DeVeined and cleaned, which you'll see in another clip. And they're just set aside. Next, we also have about 2 ears of corn, which you see here that I've chopped into a couple of sections to just make it easier when you are grabbing your seafood. You can grab a little corn, and I haven't showed it in this clip, but we also have small potatoes that we're going to add. Here you'll see a list of ingredients. The cornstarch we talked about is to clean the mussels, to release any of the dirt so that you're not crunching on sand inside of the shell. We have red pepper flakes, bay leaves, seasoned salt, ground pepper, ground garlic, Tony's Creole seasoning, which is very important, Old Bay. We have cayenne pepper, garlic cloves, crushed garlic, 2 sticks of salted butter. You can also use unsalted butter, fresh parsley, and 1 large ripened lemon, and a small yellow onion. All of the measurements and ingredients will be listed in the description box below. So we're going to go ahead and start off with about 4 cups of water. We're going to add to that water our seasoning, onion, bay leaf, garlic, and lemon. We're going to go ahead first and add our corn and the Celebration blend potatoes that are small to the water. And this is going to create a nice broth. After about 15 minutes, we'll take the corn and the potatoes out. They should be nice and tender and juicy and full of flavor. We're just going to set those aside. And I like to use that ceramic pot because it's very, very deep. And it comes with a large lid, and that'll keep the veggies warm while we prepare the rest of the food. Next, we'll take our crab legs that we previously cleaned, and we're going to go ahead and drop them into this broth that is boiling, that we just boiled our potatoes and our corn in. We're going to go ahead and add the crab to that broth. I like to go ahead and add all of the crab, and we're going to actually cover it, and that will get a nice steam on your crab so that they don't burn, they're not gooey. This broth has the perfect hint of flavor, so they're not salty and greasy, but they are flavored, and they'll come out completely perfect because we're going to actually steam them instead of it being boiled. We're actually steaming them in that broth. Okay, now our crab's after about 8 minutes or so in the broth, we're going to go ahead and remove them. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but the crab legs were unthawed. If you do have frozen crab legs, remember to rinse them, or else you'll have extra water. Next, we're going to take our cleaned black mussels, which again we mentioned have already soaked and been scrubbed and debearded. We're going to go ahead and add them to our broth. And right now this broth is like a seafood broth because we've already steeped our crab legs in it. So it's going to really give those mussels a nice fresh and just savory flavor without being too overpowering from the bay leaves, the garlic, the onions, the lemon, and the seasonings that we did add. We're going to go ahead and shake the pot and put a lid on it and steam the mussels as well. And they're going to open up. Next, we will add in our cleaned and DeVeined shrimp. As you can see, they are clean. There's no vein whatsoever, and they are still in the shell. We're going to add that to our same broth that we cooked our crab, our corn, our potatoes, and our mussels in. And I just like to go ahead and add a couple at a time into the broth. This broth is on medium-high heat. So we just want to kind of like flash boil them, I would say. It's like boiling them really quickly, and they're going to come out actually perfect. You just give them a stir or two, wait for them all to turn pink. Once they turn that nice, healthy pink color, we're going to go ahead and transfer them to the pan that already has our mussels and our crab in it. And as you can see, they did not shrink. They are still very large and not overcooked at all. And you can see the seasoning. Next, we're going to go ahead and add our butter to the same pan. We discarded up the broth and we added butter to that pan, and the butter is going to melt with the excess seasoning that's on the bottom of the pot. And next we're going to add in our herbs and our garlic and our seasoning. So here we have paprika, we have our Creole seasoning, we have cayenne pepper, fresh garlic, minced garlic, seasoning, salt, pepper, and all of the ingredients will be listed below. We have garlic powder, and we're going to go ahead and add that to our butter sauce. And we're only going to cook that for about 30 seconds to a minute just to heat it up, because we still want the flavors to be very fresh when we pour it over. We don't want it to be burnt or overcooked. We're going to go ahead and make sure you scrape all of that seasoning. And as you can see, the butter turns a little bit of like a golden color. And you just want to drizzle that sauce all over your crab legs, all over that pan that has the mussels and the shrimps and the corn and everything. That broth is just going to penetrate all the way down to the bottom and make a nice gravy that is not too salty. Yeah, you just want to go ahead and add all of the seasoning. And then to top it off, we're going to drizzle a fresh lemon over the top and give it a stir. And there you guys have it. We have a fresh seafood mussel, crab, and shrimp boil. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.